When you look at life carefully, you will realize that everything around you operates in order. The sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening. The ocean knows how far to come and never crosses its boundaries. The seasons change at their appointed times, and not a single human being has to command them to do so. This is not coincidence. This is not chance. This is divine order. God has designed the universe to operate in a system of laws and principles, and everything that functions within those laws prospers. The birds do not worry about whether the sun will rise. They simply wake up and sing because they are aligned with the rhythm of creation. But what about us? Human beings, unlike the stars or the trees, are given the ability to choose. We are the only creation that has the gift of free will. And while that is a powerful gift, it is also a dangerous one, because many people choose to live outside of God's order. When we ignore the laws of discipline, when we neglect the principles of focus, when we fight against consistency, we invite chaos into our lives. It's not because life is unfair, it's because we are out of alignment. Think about a car. When the wheels are out of alignment, the car shakes, it pulls in the wrong direction. And no matter how much power the engine has, you can't drive smoothly. The car is still good, the engine is still strong, the fuel is still present, but without alignment, the journey becomes rough. That is exactly how many lives look today. People have talent, they have potential, they even have opportunities, but because their lives are out of order, lacking discipline, lacking balance, lacking priorities, they struggle, they waste energy, and they fail to move forward with purpose. My friend, alignment is not about perfection. It's about positioning. You don't have to be flawless to be in order. You just have to place yourself where God's principles can work for you. Imagine a farmer who plants a seed. He doesn't need to command the seed to grow. He doesn't have to sit by the soil and shout, "Become a tree." All he needs to do is align that seed with the conditions God has already established: soil, water, sunlight, and time. Once the seed is in alignment, growth is inevitable. It may take weeks, it may take months, but growth will come. That is the power of order. Now ask yourself, is your life in alignment? Are your daily habits aligned with the future you say you want? You cannot pray for a harvest and then refuse to plant seeds of discipline. You cannot wish for success and then spend your days in laziness. You cannot dream of greatness while surrounding yourself with negativity and distraction. Just as the earth responds to the seed that is planted, life will respond to the choices you make. I want you to picture this. A man wakes up each morning with no plan, no clarity, no focus. He spends hours scrolling on his phone, chasing distractions, waiting for luck to change his life. Another man wakes up at the same hour, but he aligns his time with purpose. He sets his priorities, invests his energy in growth, guards his environment, and disciplines his mind. Both men have the same 24 hours, but one is aligned and the other is not. The difference in their results will not be a mystery, it will be inevitable. This is why alignment is so powerful. It takes the struggle out of life. When you are aligned with God's order, things begin to flow. Not because life becomes easy, but because you are moving with the current instead of against it. Have you ever seen a boat fight against the current of the river? It exhausts itself, moving slowly, struggling with every push. But once the boat aligns with the current, the same water that resisted it now carries it forward. The difference was not in the boat, the difference was in the alignment. Some of you listening to me today are tired, not because you are weak, but because you are out of order. You are fighting battles you don't need to fight because you are resisting the natural principles of growth. The moment you align yourself with discipline, with focus, with responsibility, you will notice that the same energy that once worked against you begins to work for you. Look at the morning routine of successful people. You will notice a pattern. They wake up early, they plan their day, they read, they think, they exercise, they avoid unnecessary distractions. This is not magic, this is order. And order produces results. So if you want your life to change, don't wait for luck. Don't wait for someone else to rescue you. Ask yourself, am I aligned with the principles that produce growth? If the answer is no, then make a decision today. Put your life in order. Align your thoughts with positivity. Align your actions with discipline. Align your habits with your vision. Because once you are aligned, growth is no longer optional. It becomes inevitable. Remember this: God never blesses disorder. The universe does not reward confusion. Everything is created to function by law. And the moment you align yourself with those laws, your life will begin to rise. Just as the seed cannot resist growing when placed in good soil, you will not be able to resist success when you are aligned with God's order. Inside of you, right now, is more than you have ever imagined. You may look at yourself and see limitations. You may see your weaknesses, your failures, or your current circumstances. But God sees the treasure He placed in you before you were even born. Potential is not what you have already done. Potential is everything you have not yet done. It is the book inside you that you haven't written yet, the business you haven't started yet, the ideas you haven't shared yet, the influence you haven't used yet. Potential is the greatness that still sleeps inside of you, waiting to be awakened. Think of a seed. When you look at it in your hand, it looks small, fragile, almost insignificant. But if you place it in the soil, water it, and give it sunlight, that tiny seed can become a massive tree, producing fruit for generations. That is how potential works. You may look at your life and see yourself as small, unnoticed, or ordinary. But within you is the power to grow into something far greater than what you are today. The tragedy is not when a seed dies. It is when a seed never gets planted. And the tragedy of human life is not death, but when we live and die without ever unlocking what God placed inside of us. Look at the inventions we use every day. The light bulb, the car, the airplane, the computer, the phone in your pocket. Every single one of them existed first as potential inside someone's mind. At one time, people thought flying in the air was impossible. But the Wright brothers unlocked the potential in their vision. At one time, people thought light could only come from fire. But Thomas Edison unlocked the potential in his persistence. The world we live in today is built on the courage of people who refuse to let their potential remain buried. And if the world is waiting for the next breakthrough, the next solution, the next idea, it could be waiting for you. The problem is, many people bury their potential under fear, doubt, and excuses. They tell themselves, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough support. But let me tell you something powerful. You don't need to have everything to begin. The seed does not start as a tree. The tree begins hidden within the seed. Your greatness does not have to appear in full form today. All you need to do is take the first step, make the first move, and trust that growth will follow. Let me give you an example from daily life. Imagine a young student who loves drawing, but feels pressured to study something else because society tells them art will not pay. They bury their talent, they hide their gift, and they choose a path that looks safe. But years later, that same person looks back and realizes they were carrying a gift that could have inspired the world. This is what happens to so many of us. We silence the voice of our potential because of fear, doubt, or the opinions of others. But let me remind you, potential never dies, it only waits. And if you don't use it, it will haunt you. Unlocking potential requires faith in what you cannot yet see. A farmer does not plant seeds because he sees a tree. He plants them because he believes in the unseen. That is the kind of faith you need in your own life. You must believe that what is inside you is greater than what is around you. You must believe that your current situation does not define your future. You must believe that even if no one supports you, God has already deposited enough inside of you to rise. The truth is, you will never discover your potential in comfort. Comfort is the enemy of growth. A seed must be buried in darkness before it can break out into light. In the same way, you may have to go through struggles, challenges, and seasons of pressure, but those are not there to destroy you. They are there to activate what is hidden within you. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is refined by fire. And your potential will be unlocked in the very moments you think you cannot survive, but you keep moving forward anyway. So let me ask you, what dream have you buried? What idea have you silenced? What gift have you ignored because you told yourself you were not ready, not good enough, or not capable? The world is waiting for you to release it. Imagine leaving this earth one day and meeting the versions of yourself you could have been, the leader you could have become, the business you could have built, the impact you could have made. Don't let your potential die inside you. Every day, remind yourself, there is more in me than what I am showing right now. Say it until you believe it. Walk with it until you live it. Potential is never measured by where you are now, but by how far you can still go. Do not settle. Do not shrink. Do not let fear control you. Unlock what God has placed inside of you, and you will discover that your life is not just about surviving. It is about impacting, influencing, and leaving a legacy that speaks long after you are gone. Potential without responsibility is wasted potential. Vision without action is just imagination. You see, every single person here has been given the gift of life. But the question is, what are you doing with it? God has placed breath in your lungs, strength in your body, ideas in your mind, but He will not live your life for you. Responsibility is the bridge between what you could become and what you actually become. You can dream big, you can talk about your goals, you can pray for success. But if you refuse to act, if you avoid responsibility, then nothing will change. Think about this: a seed can have all the potential in the world, but if the farmer never plants it, it will remain nothing more than a seed. The soil is waiting, the rain is ready, the sun is shining, but until that seed is placed in the ground, nothing happens. In the same way, your life is waiting for you to take responsibility. You can have all the talent, all the resources, and all the opportunities in the world, but if you don't act, they remain unused. We live in a world where it's easy to blame. People blame their parents, their teachers, their government, their past, their circumstances. But blaming does not change anything. Blaming hands over your power to someone else. Responsibility, on the other hand, gives you power. The moment you say, "My life is my responsibility," you reclaim your authority. You stop waiting for someone else to save you, and you begin to save yourself with the wisdom and strength God already gave you. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine two employees at the same company. One shows up late every day, makes excuses, complains about the workload, and blames the management for not being fair. The other shows up early, takes initiative, learns more than what is required, and accepts responsibility for the tasks given. Who do you think will grow faster? Who will be promoted? Who will earn more trust? The difference is not luck, it's responsibility. One wastes time blaming, the other uses time building. The truth is, responsibility is not always easy. It means discipline. It means sacrifice. It means doing things when you don't feel like doing them. But let me tell you, this responsibility today creates freedom tomorrow. If you take responsibility for your health now, you will enjoy strength later. If you take responsibility for your finances now, you will enjoy freedom later. If you take responsibility for your learning and growth now, you will enjoy opportunities later. Responsibility is not punishment, it is investment. Action is where dreams are tested. Many people say, "One day I will start my business. One day I will write my book. One day I will pursue my vision." But one day is just an excuse. Life does not change on one day. Life changes on the day you act. Every successful person you admire today was once an ordinary person who decided to stop talking and start doing. The writer sat down to write. The athlete got up to train. The leader stepped out to lead. Action is the difference between "I wish" and "I did." I want you to think about your own life. How many times have you delayed something important because you were waiting for the perfect moment? You tell yourself, "I'll start when I have more money. I'll begin when I feel ready. I'll move forward when everything is in place." But let me tell you, the perfect moment does not exist. You will never feel 100% ready. The soil is never completely dry. The weather is never completely perfect. But the farmer plants anyway. Why? Because he knows that action today creates harvest tomorrow. Here's another daily example: exercise. We all know exercise is good for our bodies. We all know it gives us strength, health, and energy. But knowledge alone does not make us fit. Reading about exercise will not make you stronger. Watching fitness videos will not build your muscles. Only action will. In the same way, reading about success, listening to motivational speeches, writing down goals, these are good, but they are useless until you act. Knowledge without responsibility leads to stagnation, but knowledge with action leads to transformation. Responsibility also means no shortcuts.